Video we're going to learn how to just actually do a quadratic equation. We're going to learn how to do this in Python programming language. Like I said, I don't know why I'm doing this video, but I think that for beginners that who are interested in learning Python programming language, this will pave a way for you to actually understand how all this how the syntax or all these things actually work. That's what I'm using for me for doing this video. So we know that we're going to make use of this formula, which is also known as this quadratic equation formula, is also known as the almighty formula. You can start to call it any name of your choice. So you can look at this formula. This formula is used to solve those of the quadratic equation and this is so basically what we're going to do is actually to build a quadratic equation solver. It's just simple as that. So when we look at this of our this formula, you can see that for us to apply it in Python programming language, you need it basically kind of a three-step way to do that. First, we're going to solve for this of our this square root guy, and then we're going to solve for this of our b, and then we're going to combine the both and then divide it by this of our 2a. So we're going to solve this question. We're going to solve this example I got online, and then we're going to check whether we're able to get this answer. We can also test it around to see whether the answer is correct. So the first one we're going to make is I'm not going to import any model. I can make use of NumPy to actually run this quickly. NumPy can help us with the linear log.solver. I can solve these guys easily without me needing to stress myself. But with that, well, let's not go further for, because for this is actually for people that are beginner that are interested in learning Python programming. You know, when it comes to this of our quadratic equation, this 4x signify our a, and this minus 11x signify our b, and then minus 21 signify our c. So in this situation, we can make an input that is, you can let somebody to collect the input, or you can decide not to collect input. But in our case, we are going to set our a to be somewhere. What was our a actually? I forgot. These are 4. Going to be 4, and then our b was minus 11, and our c was b was what, minus 11, and our c was what, minus 21. So we're basically going to make use of these values to solve this. So the next we are going to do is to actually do for this of this section. So this square root section. So it's going to be b exponential square root minus 4ac. So it's going to be, you can say sec 1. So we can say our b what, to make it up of exponential. Exponential is actually to be 2 asterisks, so it's going to be this. So we're going to include inside of a square a closed bracket. Then we're going to do what, we're going to is minus, we're going to minus it because that's what was here, minus 4ac. So we're going to do what, close it, going to be 4 what, minus our a 4ac. Sorry, it's going to be 4ac. So 4 times a minus what, times c. Hope we are still following that correctly. How do I forget this formula for AC? So we're done for this section 1. So we're going to do for that of this section 2. We can call it section 2, which is going to be for this minus b. So I'm just going to assume minus what, b. And when we assume minus b, you already know what is going to happen. So let's include this. Since this is minus, is going to turn to plus. So let's go to this one, sec 3. So we can assume as sec 3 to be what, 2 times e. Just simple as that. So the next we are going to do is actually to do for this of our square root. So we are going to actually do for this square root, and which for that is for this section 1. I can make use of the math module to do this, but there's still a better way to do. So I want to get all the output. Once I get the output, you know, when it comes to square root is, so 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So we're going to do asterisk, just like saying exponential what, 0.5. So 1 divided by 2 is actually 0.5. We can actually do that with our calculator. So it's going to be 1 what divided by 2 is going to be 0.5. This signifies that, you know, that's how square root actually works. The 1 move to the other side, going to be exponential 1, and the 2 move to the other square, going to be 2 square roots. Can you correct and 3? So with this we have solved for that of the square root. So the next thing we're going to do is actually to, you can say, solve. So we're going to combine everything together. So since we have done for this, so we're going to do for this first part, which is going to be sec 2. Our sec 2 dot what we're going to do for plus this for that is sub 1, and going to be our sec 2, which is this sec 2 talking about this guy. So remember it's plus or minus, so it's going to be plus in the first one, second one is going to be minus. So we're going to do our sec 2 plus what, sec 1. Yeah, so we're going to divide everything by what, we're going to divide everything by our sec 3. So we're going to divide by what, sec 3. So we're going to do the same thing for our sub 2. So let me just do that. and here is going to be our sub 2. Sub 2 is going to be, here is going to be what? Minus. So we're done with everything that we need to do. So let's print our sub 1. Going to be our sub 1 comma what? Sub 2. So let's actually see what we actually got, whether we're making sense or we did rubbish. So as you can see, we got 4.047. was that, did that correspond to our answer? Then we got 4.05, 4.05 plus mate 4.04. In a situation whereby I want to narrow this down, we can make it round and round, so we're going to do that. And the next we got was minus 1.3, and in our case we have minus 1.29, which I know is 1.3, but let's actually round it, so make sure that we got exactly the same thing because I'm going to round it to what, 2 decimal places. So I'm going to put to here, the same thing applicable to here, so I'm going to do what, round. So I'm going to set it to 2 decimal places. I'm going to say 2, then I'm going to apply that. So let's actually run this and see what we get. Okay, you can see we got 4.05 and then minus 1.3. I see 1 minus 1.3 and 4.05, like how we expected. They're not really actually to do here. They're not, like I said, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's a beginner. Like I said, it's for a video for a beginner. But in case you are interested in changing the value, just change your value here. I can see one of the advantage of variable. We can actually change the values. If we actually to come inside there, instead of come here and put minus 11, we need to actually change everything again. So with this, we have done our math solver. Check what I've done. So if you're interested in it, you get the idea behind this of the math quadratic equation solver. If you enjoyed this video, and subscribing won't be a problem. I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.